First strike. Admiral Maya Patel stood at the viewport of Lunar Command Station, her dark eyes fixed on the shimmering barrier of light that had appeared at the edge of the solar system. The Meridian Empire's arrival wasn't unexpected. Humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. What the Meridians didn't know was that their grand entrance had already triggered 1,000 silent alarms throughout Earth's quantum defense network. "They're broadcasting, Admiral," announced Lieutenant Commander Jack Torres, his fingers dancing across the neural interface panel. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a being of pure energy contained within a matrix of advanced technology. The Meridian Ambassador. "People of Earth." The being's voice resonated through the command center, translated by their quantum computers. "I am Supreme Commander Azurus of the Meridian Empire. Your species has reached a crucial evolutionary junction. We offer you ascension, the opportunity to shed your primitive organic forms and join us as beings of pure energy. Refuse, and we will be forced to expedite your evolution through less pleasant means. You have 12 hours to respond." Maya allowed herself a small smile as the transmission ended. The Meridians, like so many advanced species, had fallen into the trap of believing that their path of evolution was the only valid one. They had no idea that humanity had discovered something far more interesting than simple energy ascension. "Status of the neural web?" she asked, though she could feel it herself. The vast network of human consciousness that spanned the solar system, invisible to the Meridian sensors. Dr. Rajkumar, Chief of Quantum Integration, answered while monitoring the streams of data flowing through his neural implants. "The web is stable and expanding, Admiral. Every human connected to the network is ready. The Meridians can't detect our true capabilities. Their energy-based scanning systems are blind to our quantum entanglement technology." Humanity had discovered that consciousness itself could be expanded and shared through quantum fields, allowing them to merge not just with machines, but with space itself. While the Meridians had chosen to abandon their physical forms entirely, humans had found a way to exist in multiple states simultaneously: organic, digital, and quantum. "They see what they expect to see," Maya noted, watching the Meridian fleet's formation through both regular sensors and her neural connection to the web. A modest collection of fusion-powered ships, a few orbital defense platforms, nothing that could possibly challenge their mighty empire. The next 12 hours were a carefully choreographed dance. Earth's visible defenses moved in seemingly random patterns, while beneath the surface of reality, millions of connected human minds wove an intricate quantum web throughout the solar system. Every asteroid, every particle of space dust, every solar wind current had become an extension of humanity's collective consciousness. In her private quarters, Maya connected more deeply to the neural web, feeling the thoughts and readiness of every defender in the system. Through their shared consciousness, she could sense the quiet confidence, the anticipation, and yes, even a touch of excitement. The Meridians thought they were coming to elevate a primitive species. Instead, they were about to learn that evolution had many paths, and humanity had chosen one they couldn't even comprehend. "All sectors reporting ready," Jack announced as the 12-hour deadline approached. "The Meridians are powering up their energy projection arrays. They're preparing to make a point." Maya nodded, sending a thought through the neural web that reached every defender simultaneously. "Let them make the first move. Sometimes the best education comes from experience." The Meridian fleet's first strike was beautiful in its precision. Lances of pure energy streaking toward Earth's seemingly vulnerable orbital installations. But the moment before impact, reality itself seemed to blur. The energy beams passed through empty space where solid structures had been a moment before, and the true battle for humanity's future was about to begin. "Signal the Meridians," Maya commanded, her voice carrying both authority and a hint of anticipation. "Tell them, thank you for your offer of ascension. However, we believe you might benefit from seeing another path of evolution. Please, allow us to demonstrate." Throughout the solar system, Humanity's defenders prepared to show the Meridians that true evolution wasn't about abandoning one's nature. It was about transcending its limitations while embracing its essence. The stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge both species' understanding of what it truly meant to advance beyond one's original form. The Hidden Defense. Supreme Commander Azurus's energy form pulsed with what might have been confusion, as the sensor readings made no sense. The human installations had simply ceased to exist at the moment of impact. Not destroyed, not damaged. They had vanished as if they had never been there at all. Impossible. Azurus transmitted to his command staff. Check the temporal sensors. No primitive organic species could have developed phase shift technology. But before his officers could respond, the impossible happened again. Human ships began appearing inside the Meridian Formation, not through conventional space travel, but through what appeared to be spontaneous manifestation. They moved in ways that defied the laws of physics as the Meridians understood them. Deep within Europa Station, Dr. Kira Yoshida monitored the quantum field fluctuations through her neural interface. The station itself was a marvel of biodigital engineering. Grown rather than built, its corridors and chambers an extension of the human nervous system. Neural web synchronization at maximum capacity. She reported through the collective consciousness, ready to demonstrate Phase 2. In lunar orbit, Admiral Patel felt Kira's report ripple through the neural web. The Meridians had yet to grasp that they weren't fighting ships or weapons. They were facing the combined consciousness of humanity, expressed through technology that had evolved alongside human biology rather than replacing it. Begin the consciousness cascade, Maya ordered, her command carrying through the neural web like a wave of possibility. Throughout the solar system, millions of connected human minds focused their shared consciousness. Space itself began to ripple with quantum fluctuations as humanity demonstrated their true evolution. They hadn't abandoned their organic nature. They had expanded it to encompass the very fabric of space-time. Commander Marcus Chen, aboard the bioship Quantum Dreamer, felt his consciousness expand through the neural web. His ship wasn't just a vessel, it was an extension of his own nervous system, as natural to him as breathing. Around him, his crew's minds merged with his own, their shared consciousness allowing them to operate the ship with thoughts faster than any traditional control system. "They're trying to scan us," Marcus transmitted through the web, amusement coloring his thoughts. "Their energy-based sensors can't make sense of what we've become." The Meridian Fleet's perfect formation began to waver as their sensors detected impossible readings. Space itself seemed to be alive with patterns they couldn't comprehend. Their energy-based consciousness, which they had considered the peak of evolution, suddenly seemed limited compared to the vast, interconnected web of human thought surrounding them. "Their ships are attempting to recalibrate," Lieutenant Torres reported from Lunar Command. "They've never encountered a species that evolved to merge with quantum fields rather than trying to transcend physical form entirely." Through the neural web, humanity's defenders could feel the Meridians' growing confusion. The aliens had expected to find a primitive species clinging to obsolete organic forms. Instead, they had discovered beings who had learned to exist in multiple states simultaneously: organic, digital, and quantum, all while maintaining their essential humanity. Dr. Kumar's voice rippled through the quantum field. "The Meridians are attempting to adapt their energy projection systems to counter our phase shifting. They still don't understand. We're not using technology to hide. We've evolved to exist partially outside normal space-time." Maya smiled, feeling the strength of humanity's unified consciousness. "Show them," she commanded. "Show them what it means to evolve without abandoning what you are." Across the solar system, human ships began to move in perfect synchronization, their movements guided by the collective consciousness of their crews. But they weren't just ships anymore. They were physical manifestations of human thought, expressions of consciousness given form through the quantum fields that humanity had learned to inhabit. The Meridians watched in growing concern as their supposedly primitive opponents demonstrated capabilities that shouldn't have been possible. Their energy-based sensors detected patterns of consciousness that dwarfed their own individual awareness. The humans weren't just connected, they were unified in a way that transcended normal space and time. They're preparing their main energy projection array, Marcus reported through the web. They still think this is about weapons and technology. Let them try, Maya responded, her thoughts carrying to every defender in the system. Let them learn that true evolution isn't about abandoning your nature. It's about discovering its full potential. As the Meridian fleet prepared for their next attack, humanity's defenders readied themselves to demonstrate the true extent of their evolution. The neural web hummed with shared consciousness, each human mind adding its unique pattern to the quantum field that now permeated the solar system. They weren't just fighting for survival, they were fighting to prove that there were paths to advancement that the Meridians had never imagined. The stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge both species' understanding of what it truly meant to evolve. The Meridians were about to learn that their path of pure energy ascension wasn't the ultimate form of evolution. It was just one possibility among many, and perhaps not even the most interesting one. Counterattack. The moment had come for humanity to demonstrate the full extent of their evolution. Supreme Commander Aegirus watched in growing alarm as his fleet's energy weapons continued to pass harmlessly through space where human ships should have been. But this was only the beginning of humanity's response. Commander Marcus Chen, aboard the Quantum Dreamer, initiated the first phase of humanity's counteroffensive. Neural web synchronization complete, he transmitted through the collective consciousness, beginning consciousness projection. Throughout the solar system, human ships began to move in ways that defied conventional physics. They didn't just phase out of existence, they existed in multiple states simultaneously, appearing and disappearing across vast distances instantly. The Meridian's perfect formation began to break apart as their sensors overloaded with impossible readings. In the depths of Titan's quantum laboratories, Dr. Kira Yoshida directed the next phase of the attack. Initiating quantum consciousness expansion, she announced through the neural web. The very fabric of space around the Meridian fleet began to ripple with human thought patterns. Impossible. Aegirus transmitted to his command staff. Their consciousness, it's everywhere. How can primitive organic beings achieve such integration with space-time itself? From Lunar Command, Admiral Maya Patel felt the collective strength of humanity flow through the neural web. Every defender, every ship, every station was connected in a vast network of shared consciousness. But they weren't just sharing thoughts, they were reshaping reality itself through their unified will. All battle groups, Maya commanded through the web, execute Operation Mindstorm. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Human ships began to generate quantum interference patterns that disrupted the Meridian's energy-based consciousness. The aliens had believed their evolution into pure energy was the ultimate form of existence, but now they found themselves trapped in bubbles of altered space-time, where their very consciousness began to fragment. Lieutenant Torres monitored the tactical displays at Lunar Command, both through conventional sensors and the neural web. The Meridians are attempting to retreat, he reported. Their energy matrix cohesion is failing under the quantum interference. Through the neural web, Dr. Kumar's thoughts carried a note of scientific fascination. They never considered that consciousness could exist in a state of quantum superposition. Their rigid evolution into pure energy has actually limited their potential. The Meridian fleet's perfect formation had completely collapsed. Their ships, manifestations of their energy-based consciousness, began to flicker and destabilize as the quantum interference patterns generated by humanity's unified consciousness disrupted their very existence. Their mistake, Maya transmitted through the web, was thinking that abandoning physical form was the only path to advancement. Show them what we've become, not by abandoning our nature, but by expanding it. Commander Chen directed his ship through the quantum fields with the precision of thought. The Quantum Dreamer moved like a living thing, its bioengineered systems responding instantly to the unified consciousness of its crew. Around him, other human ships danced through space-time, their movements choreographed by the collective will of their crews through the neural web. They're trying to adapt, Kira reported from Titan, monitoring the quantum fluctuations, but their energy-based consciousness is too rigid, too specialized. They can't match our flexibility. The Meridians had expected to find a primitive species still bound by physical limitations. Instead, they found themselves facing beings who had transcended the traditional boundaries between organic life, technology, and consciousness itself. Humanity hadn't chosen to abandon their physical forms. They had learned to exist in harmony with multiple states of being simultaneously. Through the neural web, Maya could feel the growing realization among the Meridian fleet. Their supposedly superior evolution had led them down a path that actually limited their potential. They had sacrificed adaptability for power, flexibility for perfection. Second wave. Commence quantum consciousness cascade, Maya ordered. Around the solar system, human defenders focused their shared consciousness through the quantum fields. Space itself began to resonate with their unified thought patterns, creating interference that the Meridians couldn't overcome. Meridian ships began to fail as their energy-based systems couldn't maintain coherence in the face of humanity's quantum assault. They had never imagined that organic beings could achieve such mastery over consciousness and reality itself. They're broadcasting a signal, Torres announced. I think they're trying to surrender. Maya felt the ripple of surprise through the neural web. The Meridians, who had arrived so confident in their superiority, now found themselves overwhelmed by a form of evolution they hadn't even considered possible. Hold positions, she commanded through the web. Let's hear what they have to say. The counterattack had achieved its purpose, demonstrating to the Meridians that their path of evolution wasn't the only valid one, and perhaps not even the most effective. As the quantum interference pattern stabilized, humanity prepared to show the Meridians that true advancement came not from abandoning one's nature, but from discovering its hidden potential. The real question now was whether the Meridians could accept this lesson, or if they would need an even more dramatic demonstration of humanity's evolutionary path. The Mind Storm. Supreme Commander Agirus's energy form pulsed with an emotion his species hadn't experienced in millennia. Fear. The Meridian fleet, once proudly arranged in perfect geometric patterns, now scattered across space as they struggled to maintain their energy cohesion against humanity's quantum assault. We were wrong, Agirus transmitted to Admiral Maya Patel, his usually confident signal wavering. Your evolution, it's beyond our understanding. But before Maya could respond, a radical faction of the Meridian fleet surged forward. Led by Sub-Commander Helix, a group of warships charged their energy projection arrays to maximum power. We cannot accept defeat by organics. Helix's transmission burned through space. If we cannot ascend them, we will obliterate them. Through the neural web, Maya felt the surge of protective determination from every human defender. All units, execute Protocol Omega, she commanded, her thoughts rippling through the quantum field. Show them the full extent of what we've become. In the quantum laboratories beneath Titan's surface, Dr. Kira Yoshida initiated the final phase of humanity's defense. Quantum consciousness field at maximum expansion, she reported, beginning total neural synchronization. What happened next would be remembered in both human and Meridian histories as the Mind Storm. The very fabric of spacetime began to pulse with the unified consciousness of humanity. Every defender, every ship, every station contributed their thoughts to a singular purpose. Commander Marcus Chen, aboard the Quantum Dreamer, felt his consciousness expand beyond anything they'd attempted before. Neural web stability at 150% of theoretical maximum, he transmitted, amazement coloring his thoughts. The field is self-reinforcing. The rebellious Meridian ships fired their energy weapons, but this time, humanity didn't just phase out of existence. Instead, the quantum field itself absorbed the energy, redistributing it through the neural web. Space rippled like water, human consciousness reshaping reality at its most fundamental level. Impossible. Sub-Commander Helix transmitted, his energy form fluctuating wildly. "They're not just avoiding our attacks, they're using them to strengthen their field." Dr. Kumar's thoughts echoed through the neural web from his position at Lunar Command. "The Meridians fundamentally misunderstood the nature of consciousness," he observed. "They thought ascending to pure energy was the peak of evolution. They never considered that consciousness could become one with space-time itself." The mind storm intensified. Human ships moved as one. Their crews unified consciousness, allowing them to exist simultaneously across multiple points in space-time. The Meridian rebels found themselves trapped in bubbles of altered reality, where their energy-based existence became increasingly unstable. Lieutenant Torres monitored the quantum fluctuations with growing amazement. "The neural web is achieving perfect harmony," he reported. "Every human mind in the solar system is contributing to the field." Through their shared consciousness, humanity demonstrated the true power of their evolution. They hadn't abandoned their organic nature. They had transcended its limitations while preserving its strengths. The flexibility of organic consciousness, combined with quantum technology and unified purpose, created something the Meridians had never imagined possible. "Your weapons cannot harm what you cannot comprehend," Maya transmitted to the rebel fleet. "We offer you one last chance to stand down." But Sub-Commander Helix, driven by desperation and wounded pride, ordered his ships to charge their weapons to critical levels. "If we cannot win, we will take them with us," he declared. The response from humanity's unified consciousness was immediate and overwhelming. The quantum field contracted around the rebel ships, creating a bubble of altered space-time where energy-based consciousness could not maintain coherence. "We didn't want this," Maya transmitted to both the rebels and the main Meridian fleet. "But we will protect our path of evolution, just as fiercely as you once protected yours." The rebel ships began to lose cohesion, their energy-based consciousness unable to maintain stability within the quantum interference pattern. Supreme Commander Edgerus watched in astonishment as the supposedly primitive organic species demonstrated mastery over the very fabric of reality. Through the neural web, Dr. Yoshida monitored the quantum fluctuations. "The rebels' energy matrices are collapsing," she reported. "Their consciousness is fragmenting." In a last desperate act, Sub-Commander Helix attempted to trigger his fleet's energy cores to detonate. But within the quantum field generated by humanity's unified consciousness, even this final attack was transformed. The energy was absorbed into the neural web, strengthening the very field that contained them. The mind storm reached its crescendo, humanity's unified consciousness reshaping space-time itself. The rebel fleet's energy forms dissipated, their consciousness scattered into quantum static. Supreme Commander Edgerus and the remaining Meridian ships could only watch as their fundamental assumptions about evolution and consciousness were shattered. As the quantum fluctuations settled, Maya felt the weight of what they had accomplished ripple through the neural web. Humanity had not just defended itself, they had demonstrated a path of evolution that preserved the best of what they were while transcending their limitations. The true power of their advancement lay not in abandoning their nature, but in discovering its hidden potential. New dawn. In the aftermath of the mind storm, an unprecedented meeting took place aboard the Quantum Dreamer. Supreme Commander Edgerus's energy form hovered cautiously in the ship's quantum-shielded conference chamber, while Admiral Maya Patel sat calmly at the table, her neural implants softly pulsing with the rhythm of the neural web. "We have existed as pure energy for 10,000 years. Edgerus transmitted, his signal tinged with what might have been humility. "We believed we had reached the pinnacle of evolution. Today, you showed us how wrong we were." Through the neural web, Maya could feel the attention of humanity's defenders, all watching this historic moment. Commander Marcus Chen stood beside her, while Dr. Kira Yoshida and Dr. Raj Kumar attended virtually through quantum projection. "Evolution isn't about reaching a final form," Maya responded. Her words carried both by air and quantum resonance. "It's about maintaining the ability to adapt, to grow, to change. By trying to achieve perfection, you actually limited yourselves." The Quantum Dreamer's bioengineered walls thrummed with the combined consciousness of its crew, a living demonstration of humanity's path. They hadn't abandoned their organic nature, they had enhanced it, merged with it, expanded it beyond its original limitations. But how? Azurus asked, his energy form flickering with genuine curiosity. How did you discover this path? Dr. Kumar's quantum projection smiled. We looked inward instead of outward. Instead of trying to escape our organic nature, we explored its hidden potential. We discovered that consciousness itself could exist in a state of quantum superposition, allowing us to be both organic and energy, individual and collective, matter and thought. Lieutenant Torres, monitoring the neural web from Lunar Command, reported an interesting observation. The Meridian Fleet's energy patterns are changing. They're attempting to modify their consciousness structure. Through the quantum field, Dr. Yoshida confirmed his observation. They're learning. Already, some of them are discovering that even their energy-based consciousness can achieve greater flexibility. They're beginning to understand that true evolution never ends. Your species has taught us a profound lesson, Azurus acknowledged. We offered to help you ascend, but instead, you showed us a new path forward. Perhaps it is time for the Meridian Empire to evolve once again. Maya felt the ripple of satisfaction through the neural web. This was more than just a military victory. It was a fundamental shift in understanding between two very different forms of life. The Meridians had arrived as would-be conquerors, believing they were offering salvation. They were leaving as equals, having learned that evolution had many paths. We propose an exchange. Azurus continued. Let us share knowledge. You have mastered the integration of organic and quantum existence in ways we never imagined possible. Perhaps we can offer insights from our experience with energy-based consciousness. Through the neural web, Maya consulted with Earth's leadership and the collective wisdom of humanity's defenders. The response was overwhelmingly positive. We accept, she said. After all, the next step in evolution might be something neither of us has imagined yet. Commander Chen's thoughts rippled through the quantum field. Already, our scientists are theorizing new possibilities. The combination of your energy mastery and our quantum consciousness integration could open paths neither of our species has explored. The conference chamber filled with a soft quantum resonance as both species' forms of consciousness interacted harmoniously for the first time. The Meridians were beginning to perceive the neural web not as a weapon or a threat, but as another valid path of evolution. We came here believing we would find primitives clinging to obsolete organic forms. Azurus transmitted, his energy pattern showing complex harmonics of understanding. Instead, we found beings who had transcended the very concept of fixed evolution. You've shown us that true advancement lies not in reaching a final state, but in maintaining the capacity for infinite growth. As the historic meeting concluded, Maya felt the future possibilities rippling through the neural web. Humanity had defended their right to choose their own path of evolution, but they had achieved something even more significant. They had shown an advanced species that there was always more to learn, always another step to take, always a new horizon to explore. The Quantum Dreamer's bioengineered systems pulsed with the combined consciousness of its crew as they prepared to escort the Meridian fleet to the edge of the solar system. But this time, they traveled not as adversaries, but as fellow explorers on the endless path of evolution. Throughout the solar system, humanity's defenders began to power down from battle readiness, their unified consciousness shifting from defense to discovery. They had faced their first major challenge as an evolved species and emerged not just victorious, but wiser. The neural web hummed with new possibilities as humanity prepared to explore the next phase of their evolution, not alone, but in harmony with those who had once thought themselves their superiors. The dawn of a new era had arrived, one where different paths of evolution could coexist and learn from each other. In the end, the greatest power wasn't in achieving a final perfect form. It was in maintaining the ability to grow, to change, and to discover new possibilities in the endless dance of existence.